Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Monday. It is October the 17th. Today is National Edge Day. It is Black Poetry Day, National Mulligan Day, National Pasta Day, National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. Oh, I need to do that so bad. And I actually cleaned my virtual desktop, but all I did is I created a folder that said stuff from my desktop, and I just put it all in there. So that probably doesn't count. And it's Bosses Day or National Bosses Day. So, it's a good day to do something nice for the boss, apparently. So
Okay.
We'll have to think of something that I can do for you because you're my boss.
I am the boss. I'm
right on her
so
cards.
glad that you
Her cards, it
remember
literally
that.
says John's boss. That's pretty much all it says, too. It's also a Movie Star Monday, and our guest today is a legend, an absolute legend. Michael Learned. She was the mother on the Waltons. Remember the TV show, The Waltons?
Yes, I do.
And now she's in the second highest watched program ever on Netflix, the DAHMER program.
Yes.
And she's the grandmother on there.
Okay.
And I'm excited to visit with her. I'm not so excited about the program, but just to kind of find out what was it like even working on that program, because there's some people can't even watch more than one episode of it. So it's bizarre.
I'm kind of interested.
All right. Well, we'll be chatting with her all about it coming up.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At BetterCreditCards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Many of us blame our bad habits on our parents. But if I go back further than that, way further than that, group of scientists say they found that Neanderthal DNA contributes to human personal behavior. Yeah, we're blaming our smoking, alcohol consumption, and sleeping on the cavemen now.
Yes, it's always their fault.
Yeah,
It's always someone else's fault.
An international team led by researchers from Estonia, and they analyzed Neanderthal DNA, tracing a wide range of human habits and psychological patterns, and determined that Neanderthals carry multiple variants that substantially increase the risk of smoking in people today. So that's what the problem is. Mm-hmm. Before cigarettes were even invented. They feel that the association of Neanderthal DNA with alcohol and smoking habits might help us to unravel the evolutionary origin of addictive and rewarding seeking behavior. They say the results require more analysis and probably another grant. But it's important to note that sleep problems and alcohol and nicotine use have all consistently identified as common risk factors and a range of neurological and psychiatric disorders. And it's all because of those pesky cavemen. So,
yes, it is. Shame on them.
I just don't know how much of that I believe. But you know what? To each their own. If you believe that's what the problem is and it's not because you have no willpower, then maybe that's what it is. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know a new feature on the iPhone 14 alerts police to car crashes? Or at least that's what it's supposed to do. Police in Ohio were called to King Island Amusement Park 6 times last month when this new safety feature automatically alerted authorities, but it wasn't really a car crash. It was a jerky movement of a roller coaster. The iPhone 14's new crash detection feature made it alert that there was a car accident. They say there's rapid deceleration, sudden stop, automatically dialed 911, sharing a location of the device if the user doesn't shut off an alarm within 10 seconds. Well, when you're on a roller coaster, you're not messing with that stuff.
Reaching for your phone.
The feature now has also set off false alarms at King Island and Six Flags Great America near Chicago. So they've had the same issue in a couple of places. And
I bet law enforcement is loving that feature.
There's got to be a way to turn that feature off, because if you're going to go to an amusement park, or just leave your phone at home. Yeah, we can't do
That's
that.
not gonna happen.
All right, we don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Actor, comedian, and friend of the program, TJ Miller. We just talked to him Friday. He's said he's not interested in returning to Deadpool 3. You might wonder why. Well, I'll tell you why. He said because Ryan Reynolds hates him.
What?
He played Weasel in the first two films. He recalled a time when Reynolds allegedly requested another take to belittle Miller in front of the cast and crew. So, anyway, he's saying that he's probably not going to be back for number 3. Kim Kardashian is opening her wallet to pay for increased security at her kids' private school because Kanye West has blasted the name of the school to the world, creating a big security risk. So that's a good idea to, do what they can to make sure the kids are safe. But why in the world, if you're doing things that are going to upset people, why would you tell people where your kids go to school?
Yeah.
And Conan O'Brien can break out the bubbly. He just made a fortune on his oceanfront home. He had the property listed for $16.6 million in July. And I don't know if that's how much it sold for. Let's see. They bought the home for $7.9 million in 2015.
Woo!
But I'm sure they threw a throw pillow out or something. So there you go. Big screen, little screen. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At BetterCreditCards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Scientists are one step closer to their goal of developing a handheld tool similar to a breathalyzer that can detect THC on a person's breath after they've been smoking marijuana. That is something that states that are making this legal are really struggling because they're going to, okay, how do we test for under the influence?
Great thing
so
if
they say
it really
that
works.
They're one step closer to that. A video showing a man taking a rescue camel to In-N-Out Burger's drive-thru in Vegas for French fries. The video has gone viral. He says the camel just loves French fries.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. A Johnny Depp impersonator was caught scamming a woman out of $40,000. So I don't know if she thought he was really Johnny Depp or if she knew that he was an impersonator, but he's an impersonator and apparently he's not.
If she really thought he was Johnny Depp, why would he need?
I don't know. All those legal fees.
I need a little bit of help.
And this video is so funny.
I'll pay you back when I do my next movie, honest.
There you go, yeah. A surveillance video from a fire station shows a woman who decided not to step over the hose, but to lift the hose up over her head. You can tell in the video that this completely perplexed the firemen that were washing the truck. She's just walking down the sidewalk. Instead of stepping over it's not even a big fire hose. It's a garden hose. It's like an inch off the ground. It's like on the ground, but she would have to step 1 inch over this. Instead, she picks it up over her head and drops it behind her. And everybody there just kind of looks like, what was that? And one other story, and I told Heidi a little bit about this. A video of a delivery person has gone viral, but for a pretty awesome reason. The person getting the package left a note that said, I'm expecting a package with a shark costume to surprise my dog for the dog's birthday. But then this person had to work, so they couldn't be there. They left some cash and a key under the doormat. The driver put on the costume and went in and played with the puppy for a bit. That's what the note asked them to do. Very adorable. But many people online think the whole thing was fake.
Yep, I agree.
Heidi agrees.
Yep.
You can decide for yourself. I've got a link to this video and that other one we talked about in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Our guest today, Michael Learned. Many people know Michael from being one of the characters on a program called The Waltons. That's 50 years ago. We're going to chat about that coming up here in a bit as well. But the reason we're chatting right now with Michael Learned is because she's also involved in a program. It's one of the top-rated programs ever on Netflix. It's called Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. And Michael, you're kind of right in the middle of this, aren't you?
I certainly am. And it's kind of a mixed bag. On the one hand, I'm thrilled, and on the other hand, I'm thinking, what kind of a creepy nation are we that we watch these shows?
And I think a lot of that is just people are curious. They remember watching it in the news, but maybe they didn't know all the details. And I know I've seen online people who said, I've only seen a little bit of it, and I can't finish watching because of the details. As you got the script for this, did you learn quite a bit? Was there a lot of things that you found out by taking this role?
Well, I do remember it from when it happened, and I also watched a lot of tapes. I tried to do research on her character, Catherine, his grandmother, and there wasn't much about her. There were some home movies where I could see what she looked like, and she seemed to like cats. That was all the information I could get about her, but then I had listened to a lot of his tapes, and he's a very articulate guy, talking in such a detached, cold way about the horrendous things that he did. It was almost as if he was talking about someone else.
It's just a bizarre story, and people are watching this to kind of learn what actually happened. And yeah, people do watch interesting things on TV, and that's not a new thing. Many people grew up watching you on television on a program called The Waltons. How many years were you on the program The Waltons?
I think it was on for 9 years. No, maybe 10 years, and I was on for 8. I left 2 years before the show ended, I think.
And what was that like being on The Waltons? Because you had like another whole family there, and people had a chance to watch you guys all basically grow up on TV. That's got to be kind of bizarre.
It was wonderful. Honest to God, it was such a blessing in my life. I had no money. I was going through a divorce from my first husband, the father of my kids, which was really devastating, and I was driving a little VW third-hand bug, and I just drove down to L.A. to meet casting people, just in case an audition came up. And suddenly, 2 weeks later, I had this part in this wonderful show. It was terrific, and I have a second family. These kids are now like my own kids. They have their own parents, and they're good parents, but in a way, they're the perfect kids, and I was the perfect mom.
Oh, yeah. And the cool thing is, it's the 50th anniversary right now, and you're doing something really fun next month. Let's talk a little bit about that as well.
We're going to be at the Hollywood Museum and answering questions, and they're putting together a whole bunch of memorabilia, and it'll be fun. We always have a great time when we get together.
I'll bet. Again, it's like another whole family. And was that your first big major role to be on The Waltons?
Well, in this country it was. I had been living in Toronto, Canada. My first husband was Canadian. So I had done television in Canada, but I hadn't done anything here. And so I was with the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, a wonderful rep company, and I just drove down to meet casting people, and it was like God's hand was on my shoulder. I really needed that show, and I got it.
That is amazing. And
I was too young. They were looking for a woman in her 40s with long red hair, and I had short blonde hair, and I was 32. And,
well, you must have done a really good job, because if you're not even what they're looking for and you still got the role, you must have done an amazing job.
Well, you know what? I had a woman who went to bat for me, I think. Her name was Ethel Wynand, and she was the head of casting at CBS, and she used to come up to San Francisco and watch the shows that we were doing at the American Conservatory Theater. And the story I heard years later, I never heard it from her, God bless her, was that she had literally, I'm quoting Glenn Jordan, who's another television director, wonderful director, and he said, she wrestled Fred Silverman to the ground over you.
I love it. Well, Michael, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it a bunch.
My pleasure. Really, I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you very much. Again, Michael Learned has been our guest today. And again, the 50th anniversary of the Waltons. They got some special stuff coming up next month. And you can also see her in Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story on Netflix. I've got all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At bettercreditcards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The temperature of milk inside of a cow is 101 degrees Fahrenheit or 38.3 degrees Celsius. So it's very hot. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The inventor of the chocolate chip cookie sold the idea to Nestle in return for a lifetime supply of chocolate. Wow.
Oh.
I wonder if there are stipulations on how much a lifetime supply is.
Yeah, really.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In ancient Egypt, pillows were made out of stones. I stayed at a hotel like that once.
So have I.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the Middle Ages, chicken soup was considered an aphrodisiac.
Okay, yeah. I certainly not anymore.
Okay.
Not for me anyway.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are about 500 species of fish capable of producing electricity. That's pretty cool. And our
Really?
final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Google, Apple, Disney, and Amazon were all started in somebody's garage. Yeah, it's kind of fun to think of. There you go. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. 2% of people say that if they won the lottery, they would do this. What is it? 2%. Only 2% of people say if they won the lottery,
Only
they would do
2%.
this.
Oh.
I could see some people do this. I wouldn't
I don't
do
know
this.
what.
Physically roll around in the money. Scrooge McDuck style.
Scrooge McDucket. I'm gonna Scrooge
And
McDucket.
if you don't know what Scrooge McDuck style means, you are not a child of the 80s and 90s. It was a TV show back in... All right, we're going to move on. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At bettercreditcards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. An incredible flower-shaped sustainable city is being built. It's being called the most walkable on Earth. Plans are for the city called XZERO. Would you just call that zero?
Yeah, I would
To be the
assume.
world's largest net zero community, allowing 100,000 Kuwaiti residents to live in balance with nature. Construction is set for the year after next, so 2024. They're going to provide food and energy security while promoting a greener circular economy and an eco-friendly destination for living, working, and visiting. Designing the flower-shaped pattern, which limits vehicular access, Zero maximizes landscape ratio to create a very walkable city. The central area is surrounded by hubs dedicated to education, entertainment, and medical facilities. More than 65% of the land area consists of open space, such as sports fields, courtyards, and permeable pavements and landscape areas. United Arab Emirates-based designer URB says these areas will promote social activity, biodiversity, and microclimate optimization, which also will mitigate the effects of rising temperatures and urban heat islands. Sounds like it's going to be a ball
That's
of fun.
a mouthful.
There's a lot going on there. I do have a link to that if you want to read it. Maybe it's not weird. It just sounds kind of weird to me. This might be the future. Maybe we'll look back someday and we'll go, hey, we talked about that. That's what everybody does now. We all live in flower-shaped towns.
Oh, I sure hope
Or
not.
maybe not. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A celebrity nobody can dislike. This is from Reddit. Steve Buscemi is one on the list. During 9/11, he went down to his old firehouse, and he went down and helped at Ground Zero. Steve Buscemi. Julie Andrews. So there's somebody online that says, I've met her and had a cup of tea with her, and she was just as charming as you would have expected. John Candy, I agree. The warmth, the love, and honesty he brought to all of his roles, second to none. He says, if I die and go to heaven, it'll be walking into a warm bar on a cold day. John turned around to me and that big smile, offering me a beer in heaven to sit next to him. Another celebrity that nobody can dislike, Rick Moranis. He literally gave up his career to be a stay-at-home dad when his wife died of cancer.
And I just love Rick Moranis.
Others on the list, LeVar Burton, Keanu Reeves, Dolly Parton.
Keanu.
I've got Dolly Parton's sister on the program later this week. Stella Parton. She's an actress. And Mr. Rogers. There's another one on the list. You can read all the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At BetterCreditCards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Quote today is from Dennis Holy. Dennis says, expecting the world to treat you fairly because you are a good person is a little like expecting the bull to not attack you because you are a vegetarian. I like that. It's a good quote. Very good quote from Dennis Holy. And the quote is your quote of the day. Comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of RadioTravelGroup.com. Here's the headline for you, Heidi. Young runner encourages struggling opponent at the finish line. I love this. Young runner at a cross-country meet in Liverpool, New York, stopped to check on one of his opponents after he heard him crying at the finish line.
Aww.
The track team posted a photo of this heartwarming scene. Cooper Kohansky said he couldn't leave the finish line without checking on his opponent, Andrew Hawkinson, a runner from a different town. Says, when I turned around, I heard a kid sobbing, which is common because it really does hurt, so I wanted to make sure he was okay. It was Andrew's first ever cross-country race. He said a lot of encouraging stuff. He said, I did a good job and I would be okay because I was out of breath. I really couldn't walk. I just needed to settle down. Once we got up and we had a fist bump, which I thought was pretty cool. I think that's cool.
That's very sweet.
That's what Andrew told the news station. Andrew's mom, by the way, said she was surprised to see her son being comforted by a runner from another team. She said, it just really fed my soul. Yeah. And I was just really impressed. I wouldn't have expected somebody from the other team to check on him, she said. I think this is great. I've seen on the old interwebs here, what are those things? I turned it off on my phone, so I don't see them as much now. The videos, reels, is that what they're called?
Oh,
So,
yes. Yeah, those
for a while
those
there.
things you watch over
Oh, I
and
don't
over
know. I hardly
and
ever
over.
do now. The only time I do now is when somebody shares one with me, and then I open it up, and then I'm stuck in there for like 10 minutes. But there's several of those that I've seen where there's like somebody running and gets hurt, and then a person who literally could have been like the winner of the race, instead they stop and help that person, and they don't win the race.
Yeah.
But in the long run, they kind of won the race. Because in life, it's not just about finishing that race, although that would have been great for that day to have that score. But this person did the right thing. And I think this kid is off to the right start.
Sounds like a good kid. Good job, Mom and Dad.
Absolutely sounds like a good kid. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.